Hello, this is Sunil Sundaraj with njvarsity.rivals.com. I'm happy to welcome in Eastside High School Football senior quarterback Wymeir Reed. Wymeir, thank you so much for taking some time out to speak with me today.
No problem, man. Anytime.
Hey, congrats to Wymeir on an outstanding career there at Eastside High School. You've had some time now to sit back and think about what you were able to do on the football field there. What comes to your mind first and foremost, Wymeir?
A lot. Me first joining the East Side because me first joining the East Side, I want to say 3 years ago, we wasn't as strong and built as we are now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We had a lot of head coach issues and people wasn't listening to the coaches, and it was just like a bad culture at the time. You know what I'm saying? And the head coach we got now, coming from our junior year, which is Coach Magazine, we've been wanting him to be where he at now because he worked hard for it, but they never really noticed it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now everybody rallying behind a guy that we know that could take us over the top and get us where we want to be. And he was that, because I'm quite sure if we was to have like a whole season, a championship season, we was definitely going to be contenders.
Yeah, I mean, to go from 1-9 a couple of years ago to 5-4, I think last year, 5-3 this year. I mean, just Coach Magazine coming in and, as you said, changing the culture and just the entire outlook. Can you talk about just some of the intangibles that he brought to the table here the past two seasons, Wymeir?
He brought a lot. He's our provider. You know what I'm saying? We all rally behind him. We all believe in him. We all trust him because the man and the person he is. And he got a lot of other achievements and accomplishments he have, not even on the football field, but off the football field also. You know what I'm saying? Like, he mean a lot to us kids at the Eastside football program. So he really takes a big toll on all of us.
What was that first season like, with him coaching? Can you just describe that, Wymeir, just you and, the rest of the team, just as far, I mean, again, having a winning, year, but just that entire journey, in 2019.
Right. The energy, it was a whole different vibe and a whole different feel because he's that coach that want to get you hyped up and get you ready and get you going. You know what I'm saying? Like you just got to believe in all your brothers to get to the next step. And that's what he likes. He likes brotherhood, everybody coming together as one so we could be together. That's the biggest right there. Like, he made sure all of us, like, we was all on the same page and everybody was gonna like rally to do the same thing.
Yeah. Okay, 2020, they said we unprecedented year just with the COVID-19 pandemic. You didn't know if you were going to play a season, Wymeir. As a senior heading into this year, and then, of course, with, limited training, like as far as with, your teammates or with your coaches, can you just talk about the emotions that we're going through, and once you found out that you were going to have a season, just you and the rest of the seniors especially?
Right. Our senior group, like back, I want to say back in when we didn't know when we was gonna play. I want to say around like May, June, July. We was all down and sad because it's like, what we gonna do for this whole summertime? You know what I'm saying? Not having no football in fall, like, and that's what we breathe. Like, we've been playing football since little league kids. My senior class, because I know all of them. You know what I'm saying? And that it was just heartbreaking. And coming out and, like, I want to say around like mid-August, and when we found out we was going to be able to practice stuff, it was just like a whole exciting feeling. We really wanted to win and pursue that goal because we almost didn't have a season. You know what I'm saying? So that made us push harder and go harder, like, for what we wanted. We really wanted to go 8-0, but things happen. So, but I'm solid and satisfied with the record we ended with this year because it just shows that Eastside, from being 1-9 to 5-4 to 5-3, that things is changing. Next year, you never know, that class may go 8-0. So it's a question mark.
Bright. Yeah, no, definitely. I had to ask you, first practice, first game that you played. What what was that? I mean, it must have felt that adrenaline rush, kicked in. Knowing, look, what I'm actually playing a game here.
Right.
Can you talk about that?
It was a real hype feeling, like that whole game and week, like, everybody was hype. Intensity was on 1,000 because we almost didn't have a season. So we like, now we gotta bring it all out every game, every week. But that first game, the whole emotion was different. Also, our first game we played Passaic, and we know people personally from over there. You know what I'm saying? So like, that really brought like the intensity. It was real high. Yeah. I'm glad we came out with the victory, but I ain't really like the score because we got some touchdowns and stuff called back, like due to penalties. But it was a real hype feeling. It was it felt very good to be back out there from not almost having a season.
I mean, how tough was that, knowing week to week you didn't know if you were going to play a game? You practice, you prepare, you watch film, you do everything, necessary. And then to find out that either games get postponed or they get pushed back. How did you guys, were able to maintain that, that focus and that drive, during the season, Wymeir?
Right. It was scary, but we was hoping for the best. So like we were just like, cause we seen other teams not playing and had this, so we were just praying like, yo, like, are we gonna have our season? And
Yeah.
then that's when, I don't know if you heard, but Eastside teachers had caught it at the school building.
Yeah.
And then we had got nervous because we didn't know if they was gonna shut us down for the rest of the year. But luckily we got lucky and just had to take that thing like that 10-day span, 10 or 12 day span, and then we was able to be back on the practice field. But I was so glad that I was able to keep our season because a lot of other teams couldn't keep going. They stopped at like 6 and 5 games, and we were lucky to have 8. You know what I'm saying? So it was a very how do I say? It was very fortunate for us to have those games.
Yeah. No, definitely. As a senior group, you said you've been together for a long time, since you were young. Were there any did you have a goal or a mantra just like going into the season, again, limited schedule, no, playoffs, no championships, but the fact, for you guys that you've worked so hard, was there anything going to the season as a collective group that you guys wanted to, want to accomplish?
Yes, we know that we wanted to do similarity what we did our junior year, is have a winning record, be on a winning stage, and be focused for our accomplishments and the things we have done. Going into to this year, we just wanted to make sure that we wanted to end as one of the best classes of Eastside High School football. You know what I'm saying? Because it was a little personal for us, because back then Eastside haven't had a good record since the 90s and the 80s, and we wanted to break that now to modern day. You know what I'm saying? So that made us push harder, and we knew that we had all the pieces and the right tools to do it. We just had to get it done.
You talk about including yourself, 7, players recognized for all county, all league. That is just, that's phenomenal. To have, again, have, people recognize you, for your achievements. What did that mean to you guys? To the players that, again, were listed there. Can you just talk about that, Wymeir?
It meant a lot to us because we know that we done something very special this season. We were recognized from our achievements, especially coming from Patterson, a very violent area. You know what I'm saying? It really felt good for us. We were happy that we could show that the city had also positive things going on and not just all negative. Because we usually on the news for shootings and stuff, but also we got high school players trying to go to the next level and get to the next step and trying to have a great life and be successful.
Yeah, that's terrific. I wanted to ask you that final game, playing, I think it was a final home game. Just walk me through the week leading up to that. And I think you played on a Wednesday. So, it's, you talk about, a crazy schedule, playing on a Wednesday, here. And I think it was in the pouring rain, but can you talk about, of course you're representing, Eastside football, to wear that, jersey, one final time, and just, before pregame, and then of course during the game, and then when the final buzzer went off, if you can just walk everyone through that time, Wymeir.
Right. It was great, but I'm gonna give you a real story right here.
Okay.
So on game day, right? Two practice before game day, we wasn't on our, I want to say, best behavior. And our discipline wasn't 100%. So our coach is y'all giving us BS. But we looking at it as it's the end of the season. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what else to do. And it's coming to an end, and we just all trying to hide our emotions and just trying to laugh and giggle. You know what I'm saying? But it was really emotions on us, and it took a toll. Yeah. But so that day we had to run 1,500-yard gassers.
Okay.
And then going into so we had got new jerseys, we had got new uniforms. They're black and orange. So so the senior class didn't know if we was going to be able to wear them or not. And luckily that we got to wear them. So we were very happy and excited that we get to go out with a final bang wearing a new black and orange jersey that just came in I want to say 2 weeks before playing Kennedy. And that game it was real fun. You know what I'm saying? I had a lot of fun during that game. And I was trying to cheese it out during the best until I took that final knee to clock hit 0, and it really took a toll. I started crying a little bit on the field, and my teammates had helped me up. and like, nah, you're gonna be good, bro. You're gonna be good, bro. And I just trust all my brothers, and I love all of them for being there for me.
Yeah, I think including you, 13 seniors on this year's team.
Yes.
I mean that's a huge chunk of the roster. I mean to see you guys again go out on a winning note. I don't think again it gets any better than that. I mean you're going right on the top of the hill there. I know this year was different. Of course, no fans in the stands, limited family. How difficult was that for you and the rest of the team, Wymeir?
It was hard because a lot of us have a lot of family and close friends to us that want to watch us and see us play. And it's hard when you're getting 2 or 3 tickets. Like everybody can't come. You know what I'm saying? But some people understood, and others was very like upset about it. Oh, what you mean? But they know like what's going on with this pandemic, and nobody want to really risk nothing because we never know if people catching in the stands, they might gonna shut us down because they don't know if that's family to us or not. You know what I'm saying? So everybody just had to play it cautious and play it safe.
Yeah. Hey, you play the quarterback position. I always say like some of the, you talk about responsibilities, the weight of the world on your shoulders, that position. It's funny, this year I got to interview a couple weeks back, a field goal kicker. And I'm thinking positions where you really, all eyes on you. Can you talk about, playing that position? And as far as your development these last, couple of years and just the training that you had and the hard work you had to put into, being the best you could, at that position, Wymeir?
Quarterback to me is now easy because I've been playing this since Little League. I was like fourth, fifth, sixth grade, been playing quarterback, and I'm the guy. I'm a leader, but I'm also a team player. You know what I'm saying? Like I understand, like all my guys, like they really rally behind me and trust me the most. So like I take that too, and I make sure like we all get hard, like we all work hard. You know what I'm saying? I got a great chemistry with all my teammates and everyone on the field. From my coaches, they all trust me, and I trust them 100%. And quarterback to me, it's like getting easy because like the things like you have to do now. So if you've been playing it like for a long time, you just study other quarterbacks and look around because I watch all the other quarterbacks from college, other high school quarterbacks, and even of course NFL. So I just know like what I got to do to study the game and respect the game.
Yeah, because especially on the field, your running backs, your wide receivers, your offensive line. You want to talk about that because everyone's got to be in sync. Everyone's got to be on the same page. When you're out there, Wymeir. I mean that's quite a bit, to tackle as far as the responsibilities. Can you just describe that as well?
Right. It's great, but I want to tip my hat, especially to my offensive lineman, because we had 2 linemen that only had 2 years of varsity experience, and everyone else on the line only had 1. So I tilt my hat off to them for working their behinds off because they was thrown into the fire, not knowing that they was gonna really start the varsity games, and them just coming together like as the season progressed. It was a great thing to see. But my running backs and receivers, I trust in them the most, and I've been playing with them since I want to say 4th and 5th grade. So we already know what we have to get done, but I definitely took my hat off to my offensive line.
You just or talked about watching other quarterbacks, especially high school and even college and NFL. Now you've seen typical quarterback is dual threat now. Now you can pass the ball, you can run the ball. You just want to talk about that a little bit, maybe with your game, Wymeir?
Yes. But I like to pass first because I have a strong arm personally. You know what I'm saying? I probably could sling the ball probably like 68, 70 yards if I really step into it. So that's just me. But if I have to pull it down and run and get some extra yards, I definitely will.
Yeah. Was there, from year to year, as we know, it's 24/7, 365 as far as the training. I mean, once the season ends, you're, a couple weeks later, whatever it is, a month later, you're back, training for the next season. Was there, as far as your training regimen, was there anything that you put into, that, made you excel and again, be able to put up the numbers you did, Wymeir?
Yes. I shout out to my quarterback coach, which is my head coach, Coach Magazine, my Coach Witt, and Coach Clark Sports. I'm not sure if you know him or not. Them 3 guys during this year, they developed my game by a lot for me. mentally, physically, and just knowing that where it got it, where the ball placement has to be, when to read coverages and a whole lot of different things. They just made sure that I was most comfortable where I was at.
That's great. I wanted to, pivot to the high school, just the support, of course, different this year with remote learning, but, just from past years from the students, your athletic director, administration. And I know that you talked about, the town of Patterson, just what, uh, again, just everything that they were able to contribute to and just, help you guys, especially the team and the coaching staff these past couple of years, Wymeir.
Um, it was great. My coaching staff, they're all like father figures to me. I look up to all of them because they all mean something different to me, and we all have a different relationship. Because due to me, I lost my father when I was at an early age. So, so knowing my coaches and knowing them, that really made me believe them and trust them more, because we have like me and two coaches on my team have like a father-son type of relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it just felt good that I got somebody like that to have, because I don't have one of my own anymore. Mm-hmm. So it felt good to have that. And also, Dr. Jared Glisson, that was one of the best ADs ever. When I first met him, like he treated me like family and loved me like I was one of his from the first step. But but that's also who we also do it for around Eastside. He's one of the motives on why we go hard, because of how much he did for the Eastside program.
It's great. I I probably asked you this before, but what it meant to wear that jersey, what that Eastside high school goes jersey, and just those colors. I mean, just what it represents and what it means to you personally, Wymeir.
It means a lot. It just means that it's all us we. That means like we all trust and believe in each other. That's the another motive for Eastside. That's something we always say, and that always been said for Eastside. And it means a lot to the city, because a lot of people have went to Eastside High School, and like when you go around and say, yeah, I play for Eastside, a lot of people be happy and glad, because even my mom, she was an Eastside alumni. So it just feels good to know that I'm representing something special and something big.
Yeah, that's an excellent point you made. Is I didn't want to forget the alumni as well, Wymeir, like the support that you have received from them as well.
Right. I got a lot from them, actually, because I know a lot of people and a lot of other alumni, so I still hang around to this day, that was also great Eastside athletes. They just want us to push hard and just go hard. They're very big on our supporting scale.
Yeah. As we know, it's just not athletics, Wymeir. It's also academics. It's not easy being a student athlete, balancing that out between practice time, hitting the books, game day. Can you just talk about, I mean, I think you had listed, 3.2 GPA. I mean, just how you've been able to really maneuver through those waters and, again, be able to excel and just, again, the results show for themselves. Just if you can talk about that.
Right. Our coach preached books first. He all the football stuff comes after the book. So we make sure that I make sure I get all my work done early, and especially due to this Zoom learning now, that I make sure I ask teachers questions if needed, and make sure I really be on point in our schedule, because I can't go nowhere, do nothing else, and head to the next step without learning. So I make sure I get all my schoolwork done, and I'm a very great student, and so I just make sure, me personally, that I get it all done, and I make sure my close friends and everyone else around me also get their work.
It's wonderful. I didn't want to forget about the college process. I wanted to ask you how that's working out for you right now, Wymeir, and
right now it's going good, actually.
Okay.
I've been getting a lot of tweets and a lot of DMs on my what you call it? I want to say my little tweet box, I guess you could say.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's been going good. I got a couple emails. It's coming soon. I want to say around like the springtime, I'll probably make my decision on where I'll be playing football next.
Yeah. I've asked a lot of players that you're now able to, with these platforms like Huddle and like other applications, able to create, your own highlights and, a highlight package, because, now with everything going on with the pandemic, that's the best way to, get the word out about what you've been able to do on the field. Can you just talk about how you've been able to incorporate that as well, into, communicating with prospective colleges and universities, Wymeir?
Yes, I've been using the same tools.
Okay.
Yes, I have. I made a great senior highlight tape. I sent it to my coaches, and they have been sending it to other universities and coaches. So it's actually going great and very well for me. And due to that, I also have a high GPA.
That's great. That's great. Just have a couple more. Can't thank you enough for the time, Wymeir. I know you talked about family. Your mom, and then so sad to hear about your father. I mean, can you just talk about the support from other family members, if you have any siblings, and just what they've meant to you, in this journey. Said before Eastside, and then of course here in high school as well.
Right. I have a very big support cast for my
Okay.
family. I got two younger brothers,
Okay.
a mom, grandparents, a lot of cousins. I got
Okay.
aunts, uncles. So I got a very
Yeah.
big support system. They all believe in me and trust me, and
Yeah.
they just waited to see what's next.
That's great. I want to ask you, just going back to the game of football, what for you? What makes it so special? Wymeir.
It makes it special because my father put me in it back when I was 3 and 4 years old, and I always just kept the same motive. I'm just gonna play until I can't play no more.
Yeah. Were there any other sports that you played, besides football when you were growing up, Wymeir?
I used to play street basketball. I wanted to
Okay.
play it like organized, but I really wasn't too big on
Yeah.
I really wasn't too big on basketball. But that's probably like the second option I had. But I used to play it like for fun and just rally. But I just love football. I didn't want to play nothing else really.
That's great. Uh, I know you talked about it before. I think it's important that we do discuss it. That everything going on in the city of Patterson. With the violence. I mean, it's hard for you guys. I mean, to block that out. Especially when you're playing opposing teams, home games, whether or away. Can you talk about that? I mean, I think everybody should know that, and you can personally speak to that. I mean, how you've been able to cope with that. I mean, it's not easy. I mean, for a lot of people can't relate to that, or understand what the rest of the team, the coaching staff, said go through every season, and every week during the regular season.
Right. A lot of other inner cities don't go through what we go through, like here in Patterson. Because a lot of killings been happening. The crime rate is very high, and it was and there's a lot of innocent bystanders that was hit by stray bullets, and not knowing that was gonna happen to them in their life so early. So we just pray, and we just make sure everybody, when we time to go to practice, we make sure we get to practice. When it's time to go home, we make sure we get home, because we don't want to try to end up another innocent bystander in the statistics. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's very big, because even I want to say like a couple years back, Eastside had a shooting in Patterson where they couldn't even play a home game, and it was supposed to be a home game. They had to go to the opposing team's house, and when it was you know what I'm saying? So it really takes a toll, and you really don't know what's gonna happen. And us and so much shooting and stuff, and we all have family. We don't know who family is whose. And and there's a lot of personal and a lot of things going on in other people's homes that we don't know. So it's just big. So us just having something positive and accomplishments and things we do, I think we should be recognized, especially coming from Patterson.
No, I
as high
agree.
school teenagers.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's tremendous. I mean that not only in the county, but North Jersey, the state of New Jersey, and then across the country, that people get to know, Eastside High School football. I want to ask you, as far as going back to the quarterback position, any quarterbacks, whether it's in college or the NFL, that you sort of follow, consistently, maybe take away any their skills or what they try to do, on a instead of given Sunday or Saturday. I just was wondering about that, Wymeir.
Yes, I have met a couple different quarterbacks. I don't really want to say their names too much, because I
Okay,
don't want to
okay.
tell nobody who I'm trying to be like. But
Okay, yeah.
but yes, I have met college quarterbacks and
Okay.
other high school athletes that are very great and are top in North Jersey and in New Jersey, period. And I have worked around them, and I also watch NFL. But I'll tell you who I try to assemble at my game, like NFL. I try to compare my game to Deshaun Watson the most, because that's one of my favorite quarterbacks. Okay. Well, that is my favorite quarterback before Cam Newton started heading where he's going. But I'm real big on Deshaun Watson. that's where it's at for me.
That's great. Final question is that being a senior, that you were able to have display that leadership, pass down your skills, your experience to the younger freshmen, sophomores, and of course you were there at one point as well, and you talked about playing the game of football since you were very young.
Right.
Your message to the younger, players on the team, and then kids in general who are trying to, navigate those waters, as far as, they want to end up playing, varsity football for Eastside High School one day. Just wondering what your message, would be to younger players.
Right. First and foremost, make sure you do what you do in the books. So you can have, if you want to keep playing football, so you can head to the next step. So first you want to get your grades and make sure everything that's right, your GPA and all of that. And then after that, just make sure that you just have self-confidence and you believe in yourself, and make sure that you do what you do to be told, because our coaches that put you in the right place for the right things to happen. And then from there you'll get taken care of. That's really it.
All right, we're gonna end on that now. That Wymeir, you are definitely a class act. You definitely are representing, Eastside High School, the football team, the school, proudly, and your family as well. And wishing you continued success on your upcoming graduation, of course, in 2021, and then whatever college you decide to choose, for next year. But again, keep up the great job.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.